What is good, everybody? It's your boy Champagne Chico, and we're back with another rebuild. And today we're going to be going into probably one of the most conflicting franchises in the league right now, and it's the Arizona Cardinals. At one point, they were seen as Super Bowl contenders, and now they're looking to trade away their star wide receiver. And their star left end is retiring after this season. So all they really are going to have is probably just Kyler Murray and a decent defense. Their defense needs a facelift from the bottom up. But if you do enjoy rebuilds and you have seen my previous rebuilds, please go down there and like and subscribe for me. I'm getting these rebuilds out. I might just make a full day of the week for rebuilds and keep the wild card Wednesdays as their own little thing. But I like doing these rebuilds. I actually love doing these rebuilds. It's always fun to see how people develop and seeing the stats and everything and seeing what could happen for franchises in Madden's eyes. So, yeah, if you do enjoy, please like and subscribe. And let's just get right into it. So now we're going to have to do what needs to be done. As I always say in these videos, firing Cliff Kingsbury. He's already fired in real life. He's already on his way to Thailand on a one-way ticket. But we're bringing in a new coach by the name of Champagne Chico. Once again, he has gone through some of the teams in the league and has really built them up from the ground up and gotten some Super Bowls. So we're looking to do that another time with the Arizona Cardinals with their quarterback that they just paid a lot of money to try to get that Super Bowl. Champagne Chico in the building once again. We are going to the wild card round, so we get all the full stats of the season, the pick that they got, just to make it as realistic as possible to start off. And now we have a brand new draft class that I was able to find that is a lot more updated than the other one, by the name of the Falcons Atlanta 2023 draft. This person updates their drafts very frequently. They just updated it yesterday as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing who has hidden development, who I can see has hidden development in the deeper rounds. We're looking for really anything, mostly on the defensive side, I would say. Like Myles Murphy would be a good option here. I just think they really need to figure out their defense. Their defense seems to get thrown on a lot, and it's not a very good look for them when they have such... Kyler Murray is a pretty good quarterback, as much as the internet likes to make fun of him for his height. He is very versatile in the way that he's able to move and the way that he's able to throw downfield. But this season was a bit of an off season for him in terms of how deep the passes would go and how accurate they were. So that's just something that he's hopefully going to get better at in this franchise with us and this rebuild with us. So it's going to be an interesting one, to say the least. Now, for some odd reason, Madden has it that Kyler Murray didn't sign an extension, but we will be signing him in this offseason. But they have a lot of spots to figure out. They have a bright young tight end in Trey McBridge, but that's really about it on the offense. You have Deandre Hopkins, who is 30 years old, and they're looking to get rid of him, and we're going to see what we can get for him. James Conner is just James Conner. He's a power back, but he's not too great, but he's not bad. So he's kind of just what you're taking at the moment. Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, he's a deep threat. It was the same thing on the Ravens. He would have his games that he went crazy. He would have his games that he didn't. And now the offensive line is just really in shambles. You had somebody like Rodney Hudson at center, and now he's just getting injured all the time. And it's not good for Kyler Murray because he's just jumping around to different linemen, and now he's getting sacked almost every play or having to run around almost every play with this 63 overall, 69 overall, and a 72. And it's not like the right guard or right tackle is any better. So the Cardinals have a lot to work on, and it's not only on offense. On the defensive side, J.J. Watt is retiring. If he doesn't retire in the game, I'm going to force him to retire, but I'm expecting him to retire. Byron Murphy, a solid cornerback, but he's the only one there, so he's basically trying to do everything he can. You have Buda Baker at strong safety, Isaiah Simmons right behind him, who they use more as a sub linebacker than anything, just because of his speed and versatility. And Thompson, who he's also good, but all of the defense could use some work. It's nothing against these guys. It's just it doesn't fit the Cardinals at the moment. And they have no defensive tackle. They're going to have no left end by this offseason. And it's just a lot to work on going into the offseason. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see what we can do with it. But the first order of business would really be to sign Kyler Murray and also see what we can get for DeAndre Hopkins over here. So we're just going to look at this very quickly. The 2022 season recap, they had the Eagles beating the Kansas City Chiefs. That could happen in real life. Jalen Hurts won Super Bowl MVP, but Patrick Mahomes won NFL MVP. Nick Sirianni won Coach of the Year. They had a pretty good season. They could have went undefeated, but they lost to the Commanders. Offensive Player of the Year is Devontae Adams. I don't think that's even in question. I don't even think he's a finalist right now. Nick Bosa, Defensive Player of the Year. I could definitely see that. He had an insane season. KW3 winning Offensive Rookie of the Year for sure. And I don't know why Jalen Petrie keeps getting in this conversation with Defensive Rookie of the Year. I really think it's between Aiden Hutchinson and Sauce Gardner, but I just might be out of the loop with the Texans just because I literally cannot sit through an entire game of a Texans game. We are now in the period of re-signing players. I'm absolutely not sure who we have to re-sign. Byron Murphy. I'm not looking to re-sign J.J. Watt. He's going to be asking for a little too much for my liking just because he's old. And as much as I love J.J. Watt as a player and as a person, he does not belong on the Cardinals right now. But I think the really only maybe two people that are really worth the time of trying to re-sign is Byron Murphy, who is 25, and Zach Allen, who's 26. Both of them could get a breakout, especially Byron Murphy, since he is our CB1. Ooh, 21 mil over 4 years and a 13.6 million signing bonus. I'm going to try to do a low-risk deal with Byron Murphy here, sign him to 5 years to the point that he's 30 years old. It's low risk. We'll still have 72.7 left in cap. Hopefully he agrees. He's not very interested. I think free agency will be better for me in the long run. I mean, it's not like I was scamming him, so how much is the franchise tag? 22.7 for 1 year. I don't think that's worth it. I can really just try to fight for him in free agency instead of worrying about franchise tagging him and wasting 22 mil of my cap right now. All right, we're able to get Zach Allen back on the team. He will be solid for us at the moment as we try to get more and more picks. Talking about picks, I have to put DeAndre Hopkins up onto the trading block since that is what the Cardinals want to do in real life. I'm going to pursue that route just because he is great. He is a great wide receiver. I actually love DeAndre Hopkins, almost to the point that I want the Dolphins to get him, but that's unrealistic. But he is 31, 10 years of experience in the league, but the best hands in the league by far. 6'1". We can't add him to the trading block yet, but I'm definitely going to be looking for what I can get for him when that time comes. So now we can get into free agency and see who we're able to sign to the team. All right, so after the first day of free agency, we have 5 players that we went after. I tried to keep it kind of low, cost-effective type of thing, but the players that I gave multi-year contracts to, I'm looking to keep on the team multiple years and not worry about the cap space. So I really went very defensive-oriented in this free agency, and the only player that's really on the offense is Orlando Brown, which I think the Cardinals should go after if he's available. They need a left tackle desperately, and they should go after him. But C.J. Gardner-Johnson is our big player that we went after, but we're pretty even with a lot of teams. So if he decides on somebody else, then I'm okay living with that because I was just planning to move Buddha to free safety or him or C.J. Gardner-Johnson to free safety. Either or. Josh Allen, the real Josh Allen at left outside linebacker. We're tied with the Texans on that one. I'm hoping that we are able to get him. Byron Murphy, again, I wanted him back. I still want him back to be our cornerback of the future. And Denzel Perryman, I'm pretty sure that we don't have many middle linebackers, right? So Zaven Collins is our only one, and our scheme runs 2 middle linebackers. So we're going to need middle linebackers. I only signed them to a 1-year deal just because I don't want to have them locked down for so many years. So, yeah, we can go ahead and see who we end up getting. All right, so the only 2 players that we were able to get after the first day were Orlando Brown and Denzel Perriman. It seems like Josh Allen and the rest decided to go other ways. CJ Gardner-Johnson went to the Ravens. Josh Allen went to the Texans. That's just securing your career to be nothing. I mean, I went after them. I wasn't going to overpay them. That's definitely not something I was going to do. That's not the point of building a roster around. So I'm happy with these 2. I'm definitely happy with these 2, especially Orlando Brown to be part of our line now. Byron Murphy is still waiting. He now got an offer from the Steelers that probably we're not going to be able to beat. So I think we're going to have to look for some more cornerbacks here. All right, so after day 2, we're now targeting just positions that we really need. There's nobody insane that we want long-term in this free agency. So we're looking for the cornerbacks that we need to fill in. A kicker, a right guard, and a center. A lot of spots that we just need to fill in right now and then hopefully figure out later. The available people in the class is like Tony Pollard, Miles Sanders, Odell Beckham, who's injured for like another season in this game. So it's nothing worthwhile to me just because we still have James Conner on the team. I wanted to go after Michael Thomas, but he wasn't interested in us. So it's just all very... There's not very much to do with it. We're also going to go ahead and give Isaiah Simmons that 5th-year option so we can still kind of not overpay him at the moment. So I'm hoping that he gets better and develops more and he's able to really just move to that sub linebacker spot and really turn out well. But we can go ahead and see who we got. I think this is really going to be the last day that I pursue anybody. Signings, we got William Jackson on the team, Matt Gay, the right guard, cornerback, and the center. So I got the positions that I really needed. Hopefully Desmond King signs with us. If he doesn't, then I think we'll be fine since we're able to get William Jackson and Eli Apple. Yeah, I mean, if he signs, then great. We have a good core of cornerbacks, but I think we can live without him even if he doesn't. So we can take a look at the roster before the draft right now. Hopefully Kyler Murray gets back before the start of the season. I'm assuming he will with the way that these weeks go by in the game. It's 18 weeks, and I'm pretty sure by the time after the draft and the start of the regular season, he should be back. He'll maybe miss a couple games, but it's not going to be too big just because we're still going to be trying to figure out ourselves as a franchise. But Colt McCoy will be starting with this line right here. I don't know why they moved the right guard to left guard. That doesn't make any sense. But I'm still going to be looking for linemen in the draft. Our defense looks pretty solid right now. Defensive tackle and left end are more something that I was looking for in the draft too. There's not a lot of good ones in the free agency that's worth me spending money on, really. Buda Baker dropped to star. That's not good. How old is he? 27? I'm not going to trade him yet. I might trade him in the coming years. We went ahead and changed some of the schemes. There's an 100% fit for the defense now and a 77% fit for the offense. We're running West Coast zone run. I'm assuming we're just going to be running it with James Conner a lot with the way that we're probably going to be trading our star receiver. We changed the offensive playbook to Atlanta and defensive playbook to Cincinnati. Try to test out some new playbooks. I haven't really seen them that much, but I've seen some good things about those playbooks, so I'm hoping that they work out for the franchise. All right, so we traded Deandre Hopkins to the New York Giants, one of the teams that is rumored to really pursue DeAndre Hopkins because they need a wide receiver right now, and there's okay wide receivers in the draft right now, but there's not like perennial all-stars or perennial Pro Bowl stars like DeAndre Hopkins that they could get right now. So they're sending us a first and a second of this year for DeAndre Hopkins and a 6th-round pick just to even it out. I didn't necessarily need to put in the 6th-round pick, but it was just like a small sliver. And there's really rare that you're going to find somebody in the 6th round that has hidden development or is worth drafting at all. So I think we got a good return back for DeAndre Hopkins. And now we will be getting into the NFL draft, hoping that we are able to get some good players, actually some generational talent with the picks that we have. We're going to go ahead and just sim to our pick right now. The Texans got Bryce Young. I'm sure the Bears got a defensive player. I might want to trade down just because they have us taking Will Levis. We could really get... Oh, that's next year. I was about to say... Okay, Seattle wants to trade us the 5th pick, the 3rd pick next year, and a 5th round pick this year. Okay. I mean, it's kind of difficult because I don't really know. Oh, we can trade one spot down and get the 4th, the 3rd, and the 7th of this draft from the Colts. The only thing that I'm afraid of trading with the Seattle Seahawks is I don't know if they're just going to draft Jalen Carter. They could just keep Geno Smith, forget about quarterback, and just keep it pushing. But I really wanted to get either Jalen Carter or... I mean, I don't even think it's reaching for me to grab him at this spot. Will Anderson is also here. I think that's another spot that we're weak at. I want to switch it up a bit, to be honest with you. Not like that I'm focused on the other rebuilds, but I've been getting Will Anderson and the Alabama boys a little often. I want to get Jalen Carter. And honestly, I think the only way that I can do that and still get something out of it is trading with the Colts. I don't think the Colts are going to take Jalen Carter. And if they do, that's going to be very unfortunate for me. But I think they're going to take either Will Levis or CJ Stroud at that spot. And I'll be able to get a 3rd and a 7th from this draft that I can have chances to get some more players that could help us on this team. So I think I'm going to go ahead and make that trade with the Colts for them to come up to the 3rd spot. And the Colts are now on the clock. Hopefully they do not take... They take Will Anderson. That's fine. I wasn't planning to take Will Anderson. I was planning to take Jalen Carter. It looks like now Will Levis is going to be dropping down the board. But I'm not risking it anymore. Jalen Carter, a great defensive tackle. Hopefully he has hidden development. Seems like, yep. 91 strength, 76 speed, 78 jumping, and 83 acceleration. A great defensive tackle. Might be a generational talent in real life and hopefully in the game as well. We are now at our 21st pick that we got from trading DeAndre Hopkins. There is Bijan Robinson here, but there's also Kelee Ringo, who we could just add to the squad right now and help us out in terms of the cornerback department. But there's also Bijan Robinson. I don't know if I'm too convinced on Kelee Ringo right now. He doesn't look too good in terms of Madden and honestly real life compared to what he was compared to last season or last year. I might have to take Bijan Robinson. We already got Orlando Johnson at left tackle. We have Kyler Murray at quarterback. I think we should really be building for the future and trying to get somebody like Bijan Robinson to come in and just be an insane running back and also learn from James Conner since he could help him a bit. I think Bijan Robinson is going to be the pick that we go with. And we go ahead and get Bijan Robinson. He has 91 acceleration, 87 agility, 88 change of direction, 91 speed, and 85 jumping, and 78 strength. 78 strength is not bad. That means he could possibly just be stiff-arming people. I think he's going to be great alongside Kyler Murray. That might give us a chance to just pack up James Conner for some picks as well. Not in this draft, but more in the future. Hopefully he's not bad. He has hidden development. Okay, that eases my conscience a lot. 87 strength, 78 acceleration. Those other stats don't really matter to me, but he has A, impact blocking, B, lead block. And all the other ones are really just up for grabs, but hidden development's great for an offensive lineman and a left guard that we needed. I do think I'm going to go ahead and get Jalen Hyatt. His stats don't really go crazy for me, but his physicals are pretty good. And he is normal development, but he has 95 speed, 87 jumping, 86 change of direction, 88 agility, and 94 acceleration. I think we can work with that with somebody like Kyler Murray, who loves to throw that deep ball to deep threats. All right, DJ Turner, now in the Cardinals, has hidden development in the 3rd round. That is great for us. He has 94 speed, 84 jumping, 88 change of direction, 87 agility, and 93 acceleration. I think we picked a pretty good cornerback for what the position that we're in right now. I think those knees that we see on the left side of the screen is what I'm really going to try to focus on now. We got a cornerback that has hidden development, so I'm pretty confident in that. So I have to focus on that left outside linebacker. We got a left guard, left end, and a right tackle. Left end is definitely something that I'm going to be looking for now. I think we have found a diamond in the rough with Andre Carter at the left outside linebacker position. One of the positions that we've been looking for. He has elite acceleration and elite jumping, and everything else is pretty good. He was first in 3 categories at his college pro day. Didn't quite show up the same way at the NFL Combine, but still up there with the 40, the vertical jump, and the broad jump. I like it a lot. I think it's worth the pick. And he has a normal development. That's not what I was looking for there. 90 acceleration, 85 jumping, and 85 speed. We needed somebody to be at that left outside linebacker position, so I'm excited. This might be one of our last picks of the draft if it doesn't pan out, but Kobe Wooden is really the best option that we have at left end in the draft, so we can go ahead. Oh, he has hidden development in the 4th round. Wow, 83 strength, 76 speed, 76 jumping, and 83 acceleration. Not bad at all. I really cannot find any right tackles or left tackles that seem worthwhile, and I'm glad that I took Kobe Wooden when I did. Oh my gosh. I think I have to take Jake Moody. And our last pick of the draft, Jake Moody is here in round 7. Dropped all the way down here. I mean, I could probably find somebody else that could be worth something like this free safety Trey Dean. But Jake Moody has been one of the best kickers in college football history, so I think I'm going to take him. And he has hidden development as a kicker. Oh my gosh, I'm glad I got him. And we're at the start of our first regular season with our new team. And we're looking pretty good. We have a lot of hidden development players right now. This left guard is only a 69, surprisingly. Hopefully he's able to develop more, especially with the trait that he's going to be getting. Zach Ertz is back from injury, and so is Kyler Murray, so I do like seeing that. Bijan Robinson is going to be playing behind James Conner for the time being. I think we are going to try to make sure that they both get touches. Our defense looks pretty good right now. Jalen Carter's our defensive tackle. Wooden at left end. I mean, we have a lot of bright spots on the team. And I'm looking forward to what happens with this team, to be honest with you. We can go ahead and sim to the midseason point, and I will show y'all the stats and make sure that y'all can see what is happening on the team and what they need to improve on. All right, and now we are at the midseason mark. We are currently 2-5. Not looking great, but we didn't really expect much the first season just because we have a lot of young players. I want to look at the stats and see how the team is doing overall and see how we're doing. It seems like we're 4th in offensive yards, which is great. We're not the best in defense at all by far. We are down in defense completely. I want to see more personal stats. So at the mid-season mark, Kyler Murray's having a pretty good season. He has 2,200 yards, 175 completions, 19 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. The interception rate could be a little better, but it's really Kyler Murray, so I'm not very surprised by it. Rushing, they are splitting the snaps somewhat between James Conner and Bijan. Bijan has 119 yards. James Conner has 374. 5 touchdowns. Bijan has 1. Kyler has almost as many rushing attempts as Bijan. That's not a very good sight. I don't have much to say about that. Receiving, Robbie Anderson is our top receiver with 499, but Rondale Moore is 4 yards behind with 495. it seems like the receiving is doing pretty well in terms of just getting the ball and spreading it out. Zach Ertz has 409. Bijan has 127, which is pretty good. He's being used as a receiving back, which could be a situation. On defense, Eli Apple, a big signing, I guess, because he has been doing pretty good. 43 tackles, not bad at all. Isaiah Simmons has gotten 3 tackles for loss and 1 interception and 40 tackles. Our defense is doing pretty good. It seems like Isaiah Simmons kind of is taking over Budda Baker this season. I think that's very interesting. Our rookie cornerback has a tackle for loss, surprisingly. Our team is doing pretty good overall. I mean, the defensive stats say that we're one of the worst in the league, 24th to be exact. But I think it's a pretty positive thing to see right now. I mean, James Conner should probably be packed this offseason. I need to see if his contract is up or I can wait till the offseason to trade him. But I think we should really give Bijan the snaps that he wants. He does have another year on his contract. I might just wait it out to trade him. I might put him on the trading block, but I think it's a little too late to do that. Also, just to take a look at our team at the midseason mark, our offense looks good. It looks about the same as it did at the beginning of the season, to be honest with you. But our defense, Jalen Carter has superstar development, which is great. Everybody else got star, but I like that Jalen Carter got his superstar. And I think he's doing pretty well on that defensive line. Our rookie cornerback is still CB4, even though he has star development. Players ready to negotiate. Ooh, Hollywood Brown is up for a contract, and I'm not sure if I want to re-sign him. I guess I'm going to try to give Marquise Brown this player-friendly contract. It's difficult, but I think I'm going to have to do it, because then we're just not going to have wide receivers. We're going to keep getting stuck in a rut about these wide receivers. Robbie Anderson is still on the team. See if he accepts it. This offer is perfect. I can't wait until next year. Perfect. Okay, so we make sure that we keep our star wide receiver at the moment. Robbie Anderson is also due for a contract. I might have to trade him. I might have to trade Robbie Anderson because he's at peak value right now since he is the leading receiving threat on the team. And that is a done deal. Okay. I mean, I never like when they're so confident on taking it off the first one. But a second and a third pick for James Conner and Robbie Anderson, both aging veterans in the league. I'm not mad about it. We aren't competing. We're 2-5 right now. I'm not expecting us to really go to the playoffs, so I'm basically just looking forward to our first round pick of this year. Hopefully we still have it, but basically just looking forward to the draft and free agency. Hopefully we can get a player or two with the cap that we have right now that can really propel our team to the future. But we can go ahead and send to the playoffs and hopefully have some good things to look at with Bijan Robinson developing and all the other rookies developing as well. We are now here at the end of season 1 of the rebuild, and we end with a 6-11 record, which is not bad, but it's also not very good. We can go ahead and take a look at the roster first. Bijan has superstar development. I think it was a great choice to go ahead and trade James Conner when we did. Kyler Murray's also developing. It seems like we're really on the ups right now for the team. Voorhees is up to a 71 with star development. Jalen Carter's an 82. I mean, it's a lot of bright spots on the team right now that I'm looking forward to see a future with. I think a main focus in this draft is our outside linebackers, and luckily the draft does have a good group of outside linebackers. I'm still confused as to where Matt Gay went, but I don't mind Jake Moody being there. Our team looks pretty good right now, but we can go ahead and look at the stats of the season and see who really showed up this year. Kyler Murray got 4,800 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 19 interceptions. That's about a 2-to-1 interception or TD to interception ratio, so that's not horrible. 65% completion, also not bad. A 98.6 passer rating. Rushing, once Bijan got the ball, he had 607 yards, 1 fumble all season. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. 6 TDs, Not bad, but I think that's just the start of his career with us. Our receiving, Marquise Brown took off after we got rid of Robbie Anderson, and we gave him a new contract. He had 1,150 yards, give or take, 8 touchdowns. Rondale Moore almost had a similar season. We had 2 players in 1,000, and one that was 3 yards away from having 1,000. I think that's a pretty successful season. Jalen Hyatt is most likely going to be developing, but he only had 473 yards with us this season. Not bad at all. Not bad. I'm looking forward to how it looks. We went down to 17th place in offensive yards, and we went up to 20th in defensive yards. It's not horrible, but it's definitely a start of, I would say a dynasty, but a start of a Super Bowl run maybe next year, hopefully next year, or the year after. All right, and on a 2023 season recap, the Cowboys obliterate the Browns in the Super Bowl with Micah Parsons getting Super Bowl MVP. 52-14 is insane. None of our players get yearly awards, unfortunately. We could have gotten Bijan to get Offensive Rookie of the Year, but I guess CJ Stroud makes sense. I'm going to take a look at the upcoming rookies. A lot of offensive linemen and outside linebackers that could be bright spots. We had them focus on it. Hopefully they finished it. I guess they didn't. But Maurice Wheeler seems like a bright spot in this draft. Very outside linebacker and offensive lineman heavy draft this year, which is great for us. We need it. We definitely do need it. We're not very focused on quarterback, obviously, since we have Kyler Murray at QB1. I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to this draft. But we do have to focus on free agency first. A lot of the free agents that we have on our team are players that we signed to a one-year deal for a reason. We can really go back and get them. I'm not too crazy on signing them before I'm able to see who is in free agency. I think there is a couple of really good players that is going to be in this class. I think Nick Bosa is a free agent in this class. And on the first day, we have gone after our 5 players that we're interested in. Rashad Gary and Brandon Ayuk are really the big bag droppers here. We went after Rashad Gary. I think it's about like a 4 or 5 year deal. And Brandon Ayuk is a 3-year deal, if I'm not mistaken. William Jackson, again, a 1-year rental. I just need cornerbacks right now, and there's not a lot in the draft right now that I'm too crazy about. Jeff Okudah is a young cornerback that could develop on our team. If he doesn't choose us, then he doesn't choose us. Oh, well. But I wanted to see what I could do with him. And then Tyler Biadasz, I just need a center. I really do need a center. So really after that, if all of them accept, we're basically done with free agency. And now I think, who did we not get? We got Rashad Gary, we got Brandon Ayuk, we got William Jackson and Tyler Biadasz. Who did we not get that I'm forgetting now? I completely forgot. Oh, Jeff Okudah. It's all right. They gave him a 4-year deal. I gave him a 3-year deal. I wasn't going to pay him a lot for that. I think I'm pretty comfortable with this right now. I don't think we necessarily need much else except probably some filler spots at line. But there's not great options. I don't see the value in trying to get these type of players right now. We're going to go ahead and give Zaven Collins also a 5th-year option. Still makes it a lot easier for us. I'm surprised Isaiah Simmons, it might be next year that he has his contract up. But Zaven Collins' contract extension has been accepted. I don't think the right tackle that I was trying to go after ended up accepting. Well, he still hasn't, but now he got a better offer by the Bears. Don't really care. I'll look for a right tackle in the draft. I'm not overpaying for a right tackle that's not even better than the players that are coming out of the draft. Why did y'all drop? Why did all of y'all drop? And now we are going to get into the draft as we have the 5th pick in the draft right now. I'm going to go ahead and pause it. Take a look at the draft board right now. See who can really fall to us. I want one of these linebackers to fall to us, but if this right tackle could also fall, to the 5th pick, I might take him over the linebackers, in all honesty. There's just a lot of linebackers in this draft and a lot of defensive players in this draft. So if I could get a great young offensive lineman that could help us out a lot, that would be great. Middle linebacker is also a spot that I probably need. That's not until later on, though, so we'll see what happens with that. But we can go ahead and sim to our 5th pick. Somehow the New England Patriots have the 1st pick. Doesn't really affect me much. CJ Mixon out of Miami gets drafted by the Washington Commanders, and hopefully our right tackle is still here. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the left outside linebacker and end up switching his position. They're basically the same, but I have a bit more confidence that Maurice Wheeler is going to be a better pick at this spot that we're at right now. I don't think it's worth trading down at the moment. He's a power rusher, a pretty good power rusher at that. A, awareness, A, hit power as a left outside linebacker, B, power moves. I like it. I think he's going to be a great pick, and he does have hidden development, 85 strength, 88 speed, 88 acceleration. Not bad at all. He is 6'5", 6'6", 252 pounds out of Notre Dame. I think I'm going to go ahead and get James Mills at the spot. He does have hidden development, so it was a great pick. 6'7", 310 pounds out of Washington State. Wow. I think that's going to be a great right tackle for us. We just have to make sure that the rest of the draft goes just like that. I think I'm going to go ahead and get Jeremiah Phillips. We don't need a free safety. Don't need halfback, quarterback, any of that. Jeremiah Phillips, welcome to the Arizona Cardinals, and you are normal development. That is not what I was expecting. 94 speed, 88 jumping, 90 change of direction, 90 agility, and 94 acceleration. B press, B catching, B awareness, B tackle. He just seems very middle of the line. In other terms, mid. But you take what you can get in these drafts, to be honest. Now, if Oscar Green is still here, I'm going to have to take him. Oscar Green is still here. I was 100% assuming that he just wasn't going to be here. I think I'm going to go ahead and get Oscar Green. I think it's a great pick. I don't know why he keeps falling. He has elite jumping, solid speed, that's probably why. But he's a physical player, so I'm not expecting him to just be going absolutely ballistic with his speed. A spectacular catch. I mean, that's where he gets screwed. His route running sucks except for deep route running. Yeah, out of LSU, 5'11", John Newkirk has hidden development in the 3rd round. 5'11", 233 pounds, 22 years old out of LSU, 91 speed, 91 acceleration. That's really why I got him. I think he'll be able to cover the middle of the field very well. I'm excited. B hit power, B zone coverage. The play recognition could use some work, but I think that was a great pick in the 3rd round. I do want to take Oscar Green. As much as he sucked at the Combine and College Pro Day in terms of speed, he has elite jumping. He could really be the physical player on our team. Ayuk is more of, he's physical, but I think he's a great route runner and has a lot of speed on him. Hollywood Brown, obviously a deep threat. Rondo Moore, also similar. But Oscar Green keeps falling. He's in the middle of the 3rd round. And I feel like I would be wrong to pass up on him. We don't need linebacker anymore. We don't need middle linebacker anymore. I think we should get him. Really try it out. This is our pick from the Giants trade. Nope. With the Bears. The Bears trade. I'm willing to make the risk. And he is normal development. I mean, he dropped to the 3rd round. I'm not surprised. 6'3", 223 pounds. If he works out, he works out. If he doesn't, then oh well. But I'm willing to take that risk. We are going to go ahead and trade the rest of our picks for the Patriots' 3rd round pick next year. I really don't see any prospects that could help us out, and I don't feel like wasting roster spots on them. So a 3rd round pick, we tend to find most of our diamonds in the rough in the 3rd round. So I like this trade, 4th, 5th, and a 6th for a third-round pick next year, and we can go ahead and simulate to the end of the draft and see how our team is looking. We are now at the start of the regular season, and our team is looking pretty good so far. I don't recall drafting Mills to be a backup tight end. I definitely recall drafting him to be a right tackle. Don't know why he's not playing there, but I guess that's just Madden CPU for you. But starting lineup looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. Our defense also looks great. They put Wheeler at right outside linebacker, thankfully. Newkirk at middle linebacker, too. I think our team looks pretty good right now. I think they can develop very nicely and really show. Oh, Phillips is a 75 overall. That was not a bad pick after all. Jalen Carter still the starting defensive tackle here. Zach Allen got up to star. I think we're going to have a pretty good year this year. A lot of the young players are going to be developing once again. And hopefully they just continue to show out. Wow. Our team is not doing good at all. I think it's time to change the playbooks. We are 1-6 at the midseason mark. I was not expecting that. I thought we were going to be a lot better than that. Has anybody developed? Maybe. Oh, Kyler Murray's injured. That's why. He's out for 2 weeks more with a partial ACL tear. That's insane. I keep forgetting that that's a thing in this game, that they just get some absurd. Oh my gosh. Maurice Wheeler is a superstar X Factor. That is fantastic for us. Buda Baker is also injured. Is he out for the season? He's out for 3 more weeks with a forearm fracture. I am going to go turn those off. There is no point for them to be getting injured right now. We are playing with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback. That's why we're 1-6 right now. It is not because of our playbook. So I will go ahead and turn those off. But other than injuries happening still in a video game, we can go ahead and take a look at our team stats. It seems like Jarrett Stidham has been playing more time than Kyler Murray ever has. Jarrett Stidham has 1,000 yards, but he has 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. That's not good at all. Bijan Robinson, the bright spot of the team, 372 yards and 4 touchdowns. His long is 30 yards. It could be better, but I mean, you can take what you can get with that. Brandon Ayuk is our leading receiver. Wouldn't expect anything else. McBride is actually taking over the tight end spot. I think Zach Ertz is also injured, so that's probably why. But a solid outing by the team overall. I mean, it's just injuries are just annoying, so I definitely had to turn that off. Zaven Collins has 2 tackles for loss and 2 interceptions and 49 tackles. Buda Baker was doing pretty good in tackles. He had 38 for a while. Just an overall good team right now. We have a lot of picks actually as a team. 2 picks for Zaven, 1 pick for our young cornerback now. William Jackson has a pick. Buda Baker has a pick. Jeremiah Phillips, a rookie cornerback, has an interception. And Isaiah Simmons has 2, probably at the sub linebacker position. But yeah, Maurice Wheeler also has 0.5 sacks and 5 tackles for loss. That is not bad at all. Who has the most sacks on the team at the moment? Rashad Gary, the guy that we paid the big bucks to, he has 3 sacks. Our young left end has 3 sacks. Jalen Carter has 2. And Zach Allen has 1.5. And as I said, Maurice Wheeler has 0.5. Not a bad outing by the team. It's just we have to get our injured players back. And I think we'll really be able to show up as a team. And it might probably have to be next season, unfortunately. Another season that we do not make the playoffs. Hopefully we make it next year. I think it was just because the injuries were on. Kyler Murray got injured, and so did Buda Baker. That wasn't good for the team. Bijan did develop this season, so that's great for us. Green also developed more than Hyatt did. I think our team is built for a playoff run and a Super Bowl run at that. I think we have to draft the right cornerbacks this offseason. But other than that, I could see it happening. Rashad Gary is going to be playing right outside linebacker. Maurice Wheeler is going to be left outside linebacker. I think he's going to be insane. Kyler did end up coming back and almost getting 3,000 yards. It didn't seem like he got much more picks for the rest of the season. He got 23 touchdowns, though, on a 97.7 QBR. Not bad. Rushing, Bijan Robinson didn't quite get to 1,000. His long did turn into 70, so that is pretty good. 915 yards, 14 touchdowns by Bijan Robinson. I think that's fantastic. Brandon Ayuk getting his 1,200-yard season as our wide receiver 1 and 11 touchdowns. Hollywood Brown right behind him, 854 touchdowns. Rondale Moore, more of the touchdown looking receiver other than Hollywood. I think Hollywood is more of getting into the red zone, and then they will look at Brandon Ayuk and Rondale Moore. Leading tacklers, Zaven Collins, William Jackson as a cornerback. That probably means that he let people blow by him, so I don't think I'm going to be signing him for another year. Turner also had a lot of tackles. Isaiah Simmons had more than Budda Baker, probably because of the injury, though. Jalen Carter had 16 TFLs. And Rashad Gary had 14. Zach Allen also had 13, but wow. Maurice Wheeler right behind them with 9. That is pretty good for our young players. Sacks, Rashad Gary had 9.5. Zach Allen with 5.5. Jalen Carter with 4. Colby Wooden with 4. Maurice Wheeler with 2.5. I mean, our squad is good. Our squad is good. We just have to be healthy. And that's going to happen since now injuries are off. Interceptions, they're okay. We didn't do much on the interception side of things. 31st in offensive yards and 32nd in defensive yards. That is not good at all. And in the 2024 recap, the Dallas Cowboys beat the Bengals. Kelvin Joseph, who I don't think he's a real life player. I think he's an auto-generated rookie. Gets Super Bowl MVP. Again, none of our players getting any awards. I still think Maurice should have gotten Defensive Rookie of the Year. But they gave it to a right end for the Chiefs. And Budda Baker is one of the players that we have to re-sign. And so is Isaiah Simmons. Rondale Moore is also here. Zach Ertz, I am not looking to re-sign, unfortunately. We have Trey McBride. That is right behind him. I think we're going to keep. I don't want to just let him walk for nothing. So I'm going to try to give him a player friendly. He is interested in staying with us, so hopefully he accepts this. I'm excited to sign such a great offer. I'm not mad at it. A lot of cap space, but I'm not mad at it. Now, the second order of business is Isaiah Simmons, who was not very interested on staying in the team. I'm also going to give him a player-friendly deal. Hopefully he accepts it. I'm excited to sign such a great offer. Okay, so we get our 2 big players back, right? I think the only other 2 is the right guard and Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore because he's still young, and he still can develop. He's been great for us in terms of getting TDs. So with the cap space that we have, we are really only going after 2 players, and that is Tre'Davious Ward and our right guard that we already had, but we're trying to re-sign him anyways. Tre'Davious Ward is interested in coming to our team for a year, and I don't mind it, also because he can be our CB1 to a bunch of young cornerbacks. We will go ahead and see if they end up signing with us. If they don't, then we're going to have to figure out how we're going to replace them. All right, so we did end up getting the lineman. It does not look like we got Tre'Davious Ward, though. I'm not mad about it. I don't think I'm mad about it at all. I think we could actually go after DJ Reed, but to be honest with you, I'm pretty confident in the cornerbacks that are in the draft right now. Tre'Davious Ward ended up going to the Bills. I wanted to take a look at where Derrick Henry went back to the Titans. Deandre Hopkins went to the Jacksonville Jaguars, but Travis Etienne ended up leaving to go to the Patriots. That is interesting. There's a lot of shakeup in the league right now. I guess I am going to try to get an older player in cornerbacks. I'm not too confident in the drafting class now. We're not even first in trying to get James Bradbury, so I guess I'm going to look for DJ Reed here. But there's just the cornerbacks coming out the draft don't look good. I'm not too confident in them. We're in the lead for DJ Reed. Yeah, I'm not, this draft class doesn't look good at all. All right, and we are now in our third draft of our rebuild. And hopefully this is the last one. I want to see if they actually draft. They do draft Ronald Page at the first pick. That is interesting. I really didn't think that he was that crazy. I didn't think he was that great of a prospect, but it seems like I'm just blind, because he really didn't jump out to me. They have Jabari Ware better than Zach Cameron, so why would I take a right tackle when I think I have a pretty solid one already? Ken Sawyer has dropped to the 6th pick, but he was supposed to go top 5. A field general. B deep accuracy, A medium, A short, A under pressure. Oh, that's why. His physicals suck. His stats look good, but his physicals suck. I don't think I'm willing to risk that. I think if we don't make it to the playoffs, or if we make it to the playoffs and we don't get a Super Bowl, I'm going to be willing to make some changes to the quarterback position next season. But right now, I'm going to take Jabari Ware. I'm pretty confident on this pick. He does have hidden development. I mean, he just looks good. 93 speed, 91 jumping, 93 change of direction, 87 agility, 93 acceleration. He looks like a great cornerback. A great cornerback. I'm pretty confident on that pick. I think I'm going to basically reach right now, because all the other positions we do not need. It's tight end, cornerbacks, tackles, middle linebacker I don't need. I think Kirk is going to be fine with us. But Byron Gatson looks pretty interesting to me out of Alabama. 6'4", 286. He has a tackle and a block shed. We can move him to left end, and hopefully he does good. He's a run stopper, so I'm not expecting him to be insane on the speed, but he has normal development. That wasn't a great pick. I thought the stats would overdo the physicals. He did have, I think it was like elite strength, but I guess it wasn't elite enough. This might be very hypocritical of me, but I'm interested in this halfback, Tremont Callaway. Everybody else is defensive players that we're not in necessity of, if that's a word. I'm pretty good with our middle linebackers right now, also with the fact that our scheme runs Isaiah Simmons at middle linebacker a lot. So outside linebackers, we're pretty set at those. This defensive tackle doesn't look good. Right tackle looks mediocre. The cornerback doesn't look good. A wide receiver doesn't look good. I mean, Callaway looks pretty good. It's hard to deny it. Normal development, not great, but he's going to be RB2 anyways. He's not going to be absolutely insane in terms of being our starting running back, but I like the pick. I'm not mad at it. I don't know. I might just trade the rest of the picks and try to get like a second or first, because free safety is already taken. Strong safety is already taken. Center could be a good pick if he's good. He has elite agility. I might take the center of this pick. He's not insane, but he is a third-round pick. He has hidden development. There you go. I mean, it's just not... It hasn't been great draft classes. The first 2 rounds have been okay, but they don't have much depth in them. I'm just going to do a third-round pick for the 4, the 5, and the 6 of this draft. I don't need them. I don't need them, and having that extra third-round pick like I did this year that I got last year, I think it's going to help us a lot. We're just going to sim to the end of the draft, the 7th-round pick. If he ends up being good, then great, but I'm not too concerned about that 7th-round pick. At the start of our 3rd season, I guess our 7th-round pick was hidden development, because I do not remember getting this guy. Mike Brock, fullback. Rookie. Wow. Okay, I guess the CPU did good in the 7th round. Was not expecting that. But here we are. Callaway is behind Bijan. I think our wide receiver core looks pretty good. Offensive line looks pretty good. I think they can develop over the season. Our defense looks good. where is a 79 overall? Like, I mean, I wasn't crazy doing that at all. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can just switch Isaiah Simmons to middle linebacker right now. I don't know why we're just not going to put him there. He plays more middle linebacker than anything. But we've already re-signed him. I think he will be willing to play middle linebacker. Now it looks a little more realistic in terms of where they would be playing. So now our defense is really what really shows out on this team. Our offense, there's never been any good tight ends that I've been able to pick up that would be worth the pick. I'm hoping that Kyler Murray plays well this season. If he doesn't, he might have to get packed up. I'm not going to lie. Trey McBride, I'm expecting to develop. I mean, it's a solid core. It's definitely a solid core. Our defense is definitely the ones that are doing good right now. I think with that, we can just sim to the mid-season mark. But if Kyler Murray doesn't show up, he might be on the outs. All right, and at the mid-season mark, we are 3-3. It's not as bad as it usually is, but it's also not as good. Oh, we had a bye week in week 7. We're 3-3. Jalen Carter has a new ability slot. We can go ahead and take a look at the roster first before we go into the stats. Kyler Murray is still an 81 overall. Brandon Ayuk is developing. 90 overall. I mean, the offense is developing. That's not much to sneeze at. I mean, the defense still needs to develop a bit. Our cornerbacks are still doing well. Isaiah Simmons seems to be thriving at middle linebacker. Maurice Wheeler also thriving at left outside. I mean, it's just, I think the defense might be helping us a lot in terms of keeping us in the playoff race. Jake Moody, one of the best kickers in college football history. Orlando Brown is up for a contract. We have 95 mil though. Jalen Thompson is also up for a contract. Our whole practically most of our team is up for a contract, and that is why we have 95 mil just available right now. I think the ones that I'm going to be focused on, I mean, as much as Zach Allen has been great for us, it's hard to find right ends though. I might have to wait this out until before free agency. I'm not too crazy about signing them so early just yet. So I definitely might have to wait it out. I do like Zaven Collins though. He's 26 with superstar. All right, cool. So we keep Zaven Collins, solid middle linebacker, now middle linebacker 2. You know, I'm just gonna get through it. I'll just get through all these signings. We'll sign Orlando Brown to a 4-year. I'm happy to sign and continue to play. Might have to trade him at some point if he starts to regress. Cornerback DJ Reed. But now we will go ahead and take a look at the stats of the team. 31st in offensive yards. That is not good at all. But first in defensive yards. Our defense is showing up. That is what I've been drafting for. Kyler Murray has sucked. Royally sucked. 8 touchdowns and 9 interceptions and 1,400 yards. I'm more focused on this. He has more interceptions than touchdowns. He's looking like Russell Wilson. Bijan Robinson looks pretty good. His long is not great. 4 touchdowns, 366 yards. I mean, geez, Kyler. You are not doing good. Ayuk already at the 523-yard mark. Oh, I might really have to consider getting rid of Kyler right now. He is the quarterback of the Cardinals, but it's just nothing crazy. Lead tacklers, Isaiah Simmons. Once we moved him to that middle linebacker spot, he's been doing great. Tackles for loss, Jalen Carter with 7 already. Maurice Wheeler with 5. Zach Allen with 5. Not bad. Not bad at all. Jalen Carter also is leading in sacks, and so is Maurice Wheeler. Our defense overall is doing good. We have 1 interception on the team, and it is from Jabari Ware, the rookie. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep Kyler Murray for the time being, as much as it's not probably the smartest thing in the world. I want to see how he does. I want to see how he finishes off. They have a left tackle going first in the draft. That's interesting. Chris Dickinson, Whoa, he has A's across the board. Whoa. If those turn into elite at the bottom, he might be worth trading up for. A deep, A medium, A short, A under pressure. C throwing a run, but he has a strong arm, so he's probably a pocket passer. We will go ahead and draft. We will go ahead and simulate to the end of the season. We're doing pretty good so far. I'm not mad at it. I just hope we finish off the season right. Oh, the Cardinals make it to the playoffs. Okay, who do we have to face off against before we look into the stats again? The 2025 playoffs, we are facing the 49ers in the first round. We're actually the 3rd seed, so we would have... It'll really just depend on who wins, to be honest. But it doesn't look bad for us. It does not look bad for us. 10-7, not bad at all. Let's take a look at the roster. See if Kyler Murray developed at all. Kyler Murray has developed just a little bit. 83 with morale. Brandon Ayuk looks pretty good. So does Brown. Hyatt has developed ever since getting wide receiver 3. It's not looking bad. We still have Orlando Brown at left tackle. Defense, I think it's definitely because of the defense. Jabari Ware has superstar X factor. I hate to say I told you so, but I did tell you so. Jabari Ware is probably doing better than the other cornerback that the Seahawks got, because I swear he is definitely showing out right now. Maurice Wheeler has been developing too. Superstar X Factor is treating him right. Rashad Gary is also looking good. Left end is really the only weak spot on... Whoa. Left end is really only the weak spot on the team. And I think we look pretty good for a playoff push. And the Super Bowl push, hopefully. Our offensive yards were still not the best, 30th, but our defensive was 2nd in the league. Bijan Robinson finally got his 1,000-yard season. Kyler Murray, 28 touchdowns and 13 picks. I mean, he picked it up after that mid-season mark because he had 9 picks at the mid-season mark. Now he has 4,000 yards. Not bad. Not bad at all. Rushing, Bijan, 1,163 yards. 15 touchdowns on the year, and his long was 90 yards. He took it to the house. He probably took it to the house on that play. That is great to see. Receiving, one player in the 1,000-yard mark, and he got to 1,400. He had 6 TDs. Brown actually had more TDs than him, but had 724. Ayuk had a longer catch or a longer reception than Brown, which is very surprising to me. McBride did pretty good this year. Hyatt did pretty good this year. So did Robinson. I mean, everybody really showed up. And now we will be jumping to the next quarter. We are starting off with the ball, and we get a field goal, but they answer back with a touchdown. Not a great start to the game. It doesn't seem like our defense really stopped them there, and it doesn't... Oh, we went down and got a field goal. They also got a field goal, and then they got a turnover and got the touchdown. But we also answered back with a touchdown. It is 17-3 at halftime. They get ball first. We need to stop them, and we do. But they stop us, and they go back and get a touchdown. And it is the start of the 4th quarter. We got to pick it up this quarter, or Kyler Murray's career may end in Arizona. The defense is showing up right now, but it doesn't seem like they do completely. 24-19, our offense could not answer back after that first touchdown. Not a good outing by the team. The defense probably showed up in the second half, but not enough to win the game. 2025 season recap. The Cowboys beat the Titans, and Dak Prescott gets his Super Bowl MVP finally. Again, we do not get any awards. Not a great outing in the wild card round. I'm a bit disappointed in that. We do have salary cap space, though. I just hope that it's going to be worth it with the players coming out. We're going to go ahead and see what players are worth re-signing right now. I really do think that we should re-sign Jalen Thompson. He seems like he's developing a bit. Our right end as well. And DJ Humphries. All these players, I think I'm going to re-sign, except for Isaacs. I'm not even going to try to say that. Trey McBride is also up for a contract. I wanted to see what tight ends were available, so I don't think I'm going to re-sign Trey McBride, but I will try to sign Jalen Thompson back. Hopefully he signs on this deal. I'm not too crazy on just dropping a bag on him. Thanks for the offer, but I'm not interested in signing. Okay, well, I mean, it is what it is. Zach Allen, I hope you are willing to stay with us. It might have to be a neutral. He's also going to test free agency. We are 0 for 2. DJ Humphries. Hey, buddy. I'll give you a player-friendly deal. I like you. This offer is perfect. I can't wait until next year. Okay, so we have our right tackle back, even though he's supposed to play left. Center, Tyler Biadasz. This offer is perfect. I can't wait until next year. Okay, so Tyler comes back. Our right tackle comes back. So we have our lineman back. I'm not too crazy about signing McBride again, at least before I see who's available in free agency. There might be a tight end. I don't know. I actually genuinely do not know. So we can go ahead and take a look and see. Oh, wow. Mark Andrews is available in this free agency class. Oh, wow. All right, well, the 4 people that I'm going after right now is really players that we need either to come back or to come to the team. Mark Andrews, elite tight end. He's 30 years old. Don't really care at the moment because we only have about maybe a year. Like one more simulation of a year. And then the rebuild might be over. But Jalen Thompson, I was trying to get him back, but he does not seem interested whatsoever to come back. He wants to go to the Green Bay Packers. Alex Capel, we're tied with 3 other teams. I'm not even sure if I'll get him. Zach Allen at right end. There's also prospects in the draft that could possibly go to right end, but I need a right guard. That wouldn't hurt me. Jalen Thompson, I mean. So, taking a look at the roster before we get into the draft, we signed Mark Andrews, our big signing of the offseason. We were struggling after we got Mark Andrews in terms of just getting people to come back. Jalen Thompson ended up not coming back. We got Jabril Peppers. We decided not to get DJ Reed again because I want Jabari Ware to be the CB1 of the team. And these 2 young cornerbacks that are around the same age as him, I want them to develop as well. So I want them to have their shot. Our right end and left end are pretty good at the moment. They are young. I drafted them. But if I see the opportunity to get a better one, I will take it. But I think it's time. I think it's time for Kyler Murray to leave the Arizona Cardinals. He has only been hurting us. He has not given us any sort of hope in terms of just giving us a better chance. He doesn't perform well. We saw it in the wild card round. He hardly got any points. He had to be saved by the defense sometimes. And as much as I don't want to get rid of Kyler Murray, I think it needs to happen because we have a QB in this draft class by the name of Chris Dickinson, who seems to be a generational talent in terms of being a pocket passer. And I would not be mad at trading Kyler Murray in order to get Chris Dickinson. I mean, I'm going to try to get some quarterbacks now, but I doubt the teams are just going to give away their franchise QB just to give them away. So I'm going to go ahead and see who has the maybe 2nd overall pick. They have the quarterbacks dropping since the top 3 picks are teams that don't need quarterbacks. Okay, I might just try to trade for the 3rd pick to really secure it. Yeah, I don't like Martin Lehman. I do like Chris Dickinson, though. We don't need somebody that's getting out of the pocket. We have a offensive line that's good enough to handle the pressure in terms of giving him time since he has a strong arm. Martin Lehman is a scrambler. He has elite speed, elite acceleration. Oh my gosh, wait. He was first across the board in the NFL Combine. Hold on. I might have to take Martin Lehman. I mean, he's a scrambler. He doesn't have the best throwing stats. I mean, but he almost has elite across the board. He still has elite strength and great throw power, elite speed, elite jumping, elite change of direction, elite acceleration. First across the board in the NFL Combine. He would have been first at the College Pro Day, but bench rep or bench presses, he was fourth. I mean, I might have to take Martin Lehman. I thought Chris Dickinson was the clear QB1 in the draft, but wow. I mean, he's great at pocket passing, but his physicals aren't great. That's going to be difficult. That's going to be a difficult pick. Let me see what pick I can get for Kyler Murray here. For Kyler Murray, we don't feel like this brings enough. I'll give you a 7th round pick or a 6th round pick because you're definitely going to agree after that. Done deal. Kyler Murray goes to the Rams. We get the 3rd pick. Now we have to decide which quarterback is worth it. The Eagles get a left tackle like they're projected to. At the 2nd, the Jaguars get a halfback, and we are now on the clock. I think I know exactly who I'm getting now, and it's going to be Martin Lehman. It's just so hard to ignore his physicals. Elite across the board. And 2 greats. I mean, that's not something to sneeze at. Martin Lehman, welcome to the Arizona Cardinals. Hidden development, 92 speed, 93 throw power, 94 change of direction, 90 acceleration, and 88 agility at the QB position. Oh, wow. And he's 6'3". He's not Kyler Murray's 5'11" height. He is legit. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what he can do. I might have to extend the rebuild just to see. So my thought process behind the Washington Commanders taking Chase Young or trading Chase Young for the picks is that we're far into the future. I think this is the 2026 draft. They could be with turmoil right now. I mean, he could be on his contract year, maybe. He is on his contract year. They probably want to get rid of him. I wouldn't mind taking him in. I have the cap room to re-sign him. I wouldn't mind having Chase Young on the team. Maybe if we could get like a pick as well, like next year's pick, next year's 1st round for a 1st and a 2nd. What if we give you a 3rd this year and you give us him in a 1st? What if we take that out? We take this out. I give you a 1st and a 3rd. Never mind. I will give you my 1st and 2nd. I'm really not convinced on the draft in terms of relying on the draft at this moment. And I think Chase Young, oh my gosh, they're going to make me drop the whole stack. I'll give you a 1st, a 2nd, and a 3rd. If you could improve this, how much more do you want me to improve it? A 1st and 2 seconds for Chase Young. Thank you. All right, so we get Chase Young. He's on his contract year. I don't mind re-signing him. I don't mind re-signing him at all. I want to see if I can get another defensive lineman by the name of Jeffrey Simmons. I'm feeling pretty confident right now. And if we just unload the draft picks and just get whoever right now, I don't mind it just because we need it. We do need it right now. 2 thirds and a 4th for Jeffrey Simmons. They're not taking that at all. Never mind. So now we have traded 2 thirds and a 4th for Braden Smith. I might have overpaid. I could have seen if they would have taken just 2 thirds, but I really don't think that the draft picks that we're going to be getting are going to be worth it. And we need linemen. We do need linemen. And I think it's worth the trades right now. I think having both of them at left tackle and right tackle is going to be very good for us. I really thought... I'm confident with that trade. I'm not mad at it at all. We have Chase Young on our defensive line. Gatson, hopefully he develops more. I'm not unloading more picks right now because I don't want to get too ahead of myself in terms of next year. But I really just wanted to have an elite defensive line, and having Jalen Carter and Chase Young in the same vicinity is just going to be insane. And now we're going to have our new quarterback just dealing dealing on the team. So I'm excited for that. I am pretty confident. This is going to be the year for us with a brand new quarterback, an offensive line that could really help us out with Bijan and our new layman quarterback. And Martin Layman as our new quarterback. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be fantastic. Our defense got even better with Chase Young on the defensive line. You now have Jalen Carter, Chase Young, and Maurice Wheeler just going absolutely insane on that line. Hopefully these players can get back up to superstar. I'm expecting them to. Jabril Peppers, really just a solid free safety at that position. I needed somebody to fill that in. But I think we're going to be doing great this season. I just hope it pans out. And now at the midseason mark, we are actually 3-4. Not what I was expecting. I thought we were going to be doing a lot better. Layman only got star development. That's not a good look. That's not a good look at all. Our defense is still doing well. I'm a bit disappointed in Layman getting star development, though. He still has not developed at all, and it's the mid-season mark. That's not good. Go ahead and take a look at the stats. He's not doing bad in terms of the ratio. He only has 3 picks at the mid-season mark. He has 9 TDs, 1,300 yards. Kind of wishing that I got Dickinson now. Bijan still doing great. 623 yards, 72 long, 7 touchdowns. I mean, you don't get much better than that at the midseason. Brandon Ayuk only has 1 touchdown a year, but has 418 yards. The receiving core is doing fine. Mark Andrews is doing fine as well. I think he's getting most of the TD looks. Defense, Isaiah Simmons once again being at the top of it. I want to see who has the most sacks. Rashad Gary and Chase Young both have the most sacks on the team. TFLs, Chase Young too. It's a bit disappointing that we're only 3-4 right now. I was kind of hoping that we were going to be at least 5-2. But maybe we can turn it around. Maybe we can turn it around before the end of the season. I'm hoping we do, because then it will be very disappointing to have unloaded all those draft picks just for nothing. But yeah, I will see you at the end of the season. Wow, we ended up turning the season completely around. I think that means we went 9-1 after the start of the season, and we're 12-5. I mean, we could have sucked and still gotten to the NFC West Division Championship, but wow, we really turned the season around. How does Layman look now? Because it seems like he did pretty well. He did turn it around a bit. He is an 83 overall. Bijan is a 94 right now. That's insane. I'm sure the defense is a big factor into how we are able to be at this position at 12-5. We'll have to look at the stats to really see what made it happen. We were 24th in offensive yards, so clearly it was the defense once again that did it. First in the league, defensive yards. Oh my gosh. Layman had 25 TDs and 10 picks, 3,500 yards. Not bad at all. Not bad at all for a rookie quarterback. Bijan had 1,300 yards. My fault. 13 picks. His long stayed the same, but Layman was right behind him. That's why I was so flabbergasted. He almost had an 1,000-yard rushing season. He had 829 and 6 TDs. Wow. Callaway's still doing good behind Bijan. Hollywood Brown barely got to 1,000. He hit it right on the dot. 11 TDs. Brandon Ayuk is a bit behind on that. 815 yards. Mark Andrews 682. Not bad. Not a bad offense. But the defense is what I'm concerned about, because it seems like we went absolutely insane. Chase Young had 16 TFLs. Rashad Gary had 13. Jalen Carter had 11. And it seems like those two also got 9.5 sacks. And Jalen Carter got 4. I think that's the best on the team. Picks. We had 4 picks with Isaiah Simmons, 3 picks with Zaven Collins, and 3 picks with Jabari Ware. It seems like the young cornerbacks are still doing good for us. Hopefully they can continue doing good. We really need to win a Super Bowl this season, and I think that we can do it with the rookie quarterback possibly getting a breakout. And now we start off the game. No scores yet, but Atlanta strikes first, and we strike back and tie the game right before the end of the first quarter. And now we get into the second, and we go downfield and get a field goal. Atlanta answers back with a field goal, and it's 10-10 at halftime. Ooh, I hope we're able to... Oh, we score a touchdown, and they score right back, and they end up not going downfield, but I think they're at first and goal right now, so that's not a good look for us. Maybe we can get a stop, and we don't. They get a touchdown. I think I'm going to have to jump in. I really want to win this. Oh, they're on 4th and 9, so they're trying to kick the field goal from here. I don't think they'll make it, unless they have just an insane kicker, but... And they do. He makes it right down the middle. Perfect accuracy. We're down by 10 right now. We got to go downfield to get a touchdown quick. Bijan Robinson open. Might get the first. He gets more. He goes downfield, and he gets a gain of about 40 yards on that play. I was hoping he would get open, but I didn't think it was going to be that. Mark Andrews right down the middle. Not able to break anything. I think we have to no huddle right now because I don't feel too confident on not being able to go fast. Oof. Good pass, Lehman. Because I needed to get that off somewhere. It's just difficult. This defense is really good. Mark Andrews, though, finds an open spot and gets the touchdown with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. We have to show up on defense in order to capitalize on this. Oh, don't tell me that's illegal touching. That cannot be illegal touching. Don't tell me that's illegal touching. Holding. Offense. Okay. I don't mind that. 1st and 20. I'll take it. Don't know who this Shields guy is at quarterback, but I think they have Miles Sanders at running back. I'm here. And we get a sack. I think... No, I'm not going to call a timeout. I'll let it go down to the 2-minute warning. They still have to run the play after the 2-minute warning. I don't mind it. We have 3 timeouts. I can use them to go back downfield once they punt it to us, hopefully. Hoping that he gets open. I keep forgetting that Lehman... Oh, Lord. Lehman is a scrambler. Oh, my gosh. The speed is insane. I got out of bounds, right? I did. Okay. Wow. He can run. I didn't think he was going to be that fast. Oh, Mark Andrews saves the rookie quarterback on that catch. We're at the 24. I'm going to go ahead and call a timeout. I think we need to call that. Wow. What a catch by Mark Andrews on a lofty throw while he was getting sacked. I see Mark Andrews in the corner. He catches it. Oh my goodness. I'm going to let the clock run. I think I'm just going to try to run it down and get a touchdown here. I'm going to try to run it again. I'm going to try to run it again with Bijan. I'm confident that he'll be able to get it in with this power. And he gets the touchdown with 40 seconds left on the clock. We got to make the field goal in order for it to be a touchdown game for them to get within range. Oh my gosh, that was fast. That was a fast one. 40 seconds left on the clock. They would have to get a touchdown in order to win the game, and I'm pretty confident that we can stop them on defense. And they go with the check down once again. War cannot hit stick for the life of him. They get out of bounds with the 5-yard gain. Might have to make sure that Drake London does not get downfield. And I do that, but our cornerbacks cannot hit. And they call their first timeout because we keep them inbounds. I try to keep an eye on Drake London. It seems like he's having a pretty good day. And I'm going to not be able to get him down, but we get him down inbounds and waste another timeout for them. It's not looking good for them right now. Oh, they get their fullback down the middle, and they have to call their last timeout with 15 seconds left on the clock. They're going with the Hail Mary. They might try to do the save clock version of it. Yep, they are. Drake London's doing an out route on the left side. They have their running back going down. They're tossing it up to Drake. He's not going to be able to get it. 8 seconds left on the clock. They have one more play to go. And it's just a straight Hail Mary. We got to be able to stop him. And they are not able to get that catch, and we win the wild card round. Oh, wow. I really want this team to win. I really do want this team to win, and I was willing to come into the game and win the game for us, but that was a pretty well-fought game, whether it was by me or the computer. Now we are facing the Dallas Cowboys in the divisional round. We're even on the record, but our overalls are just a lot better in terms of defense. Offense is a bit the same. I'm confident in our team. I think we should be able to win this game. Not easily, but just win the game in general. We are now in the divisional round against the Dallas Cowboys. Hopefully we can show up today and show the Dallas Cowboys who's boss. In the start of the first quarter, they go downfield and get a field goal, but we answer back with a touchdown, and we also got a stop and answer with another touchdown. In the second quarter, it's a stalemate right now, but we get another touchdown. We are 28-3 at halftime against the Cowboys. We're doing pretty good right now. We just have to hold this lead, not allow them to come back in any sort of way. Seems like it's a stalemate right now in the third quarter. Nobody was able to score anything. They go downfield and get a touchdown. They get another touchdown, but we answer back and don't allow them to come back into the game. 31-17. The Cardinals come out on top against the Cowboys. Now we are in the NFC Championship facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. That's going to be another difficult game. We're here at Raymond James Stadium, and we start off with the field goal, and they do not answer back. It is 3-0 going into the second. And we're able to score a touchdown, but they also answer back. We get a field goal. They were not able to score, although wasting their timeouts at the end of the half. It is 13-7. I think they get ball first. They do get ball first. They go downfield and they get a field goal. But it seems like we're at the goal line, so we could be in midst of getting a touchdown, and we do. We make it a 17-point game. Our defense is absolutely showing up. Wow. CJ Stroud is on the Buccaneers. Wow. No interceptions by us. Very impressive by the rookie quarterback. And now we are in the Super Bowl, and we are facing the Cleveland Browns. Myles Garrett was somebody that I was looking at to trade those picks for. I didn't think it was very realistic. Chase Young, contract year. They wanted what they could get if he wasn't going to re-sign. But we will look at the yearly awards after we face the Cleveland Browns. We are more focused on winning this game right now. And I'm looking forward to seeing what our team can do on the brightest lights. We're now in the Super Bowl, and hopefully we can stop them. They start off with the touchdown. We turn the ball over, and they get a field goal off of it. It is 10-0. But we score a touchdown very quickly. We almost got another one. They get a field goal. We go downfield and get a field goal of our own. It is 13-0. 13-0. It is 13-10 at halftime. Hoping that we can start off good. We start off with a touchdown. We get another touchdown. It is an 11-point game going into the fourth quarter. They punt the ball back to us, and we get another touchdown. They also answer back right before the end of it, but we win the Super Bowl, and the Arizona Cardinals are finally Super Bowl champions once again. Isaiah Simmons cannot believe it. Oh my gosh, finally. Wow. What an insane game. Bijan Robinson, everybody came into play. An absolutely insane game overall. And there it is. The Arizona Cardinals are now Super Bowl champions. This could be the way that they go. They could figure out that Kyler Murray is not the quarterback for them to take to the Super Bowl. They draft a rookie. He shows up. They get Bijan this draft. You never know. You never really know what could happen in real life, but this is my rebuild, what I think would be realistic in terms of future and what they would do in desperation mode. But the Arizona Cardinals win the Super Bowl, and if you did enjoy that, please like and subscribe. If you have any teams that you want me to rebuild, please let me know in the comment section down below. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.